Hello everyone, welcome to Make Some Sense, and today we'll be attempting TestNet 2019. Please remember that this is a memory based paper and we could not find the exact PDF all over the internet. So yeah, and we'll be attempting this one today, and just let's begin. So according to question number 1, we have to find the HCF of 616 and 32. Now we know what HCF means. HCF stands for the highest common factor. Now what does that mean? We all know the full form, but what does that mean? Is that we have to find the factors, then we have to find what is common in both the numbers, what is the common factor in both the numbers, and then find the highest. Okay, obviously, yeah, the highest which is common in both the numbers, right? So here's a little trick. What you have to do is that find the factor of the smaller number first, so that you just have to match whatever it is in the highest number, right? You don't have to find all the factors for the higher number. Now what we'll do, we'll just write that we know that 32 is equal to 2 to the power 5. Now we have to just find how many 2's are there in 616. So we try to find the factors, then we use the long division method, um, and we come to the conclusion that it has 3 2's. After that, whatever be the factors, we do not have to find out here because 32 only has 2's in it. So what we'll do is just that we know that here are 3 2's in 616, and we have 5 2's in 32. So what will be the highest common factor? Will it be 2 to the power 5? No. We have to find the number that is common in both, right? Highest common number in both. So 2 to the power 3 is in the both numbers. Then here, therefore the answer will be 2 to the power 3, that is 8. Now moving on to the next question. The second question says that we have to find a 2-digit prime number using 257. Actually, we have to find the number of 2-digit prime numbers that can be formed using the digits 2, 5 and 7. Okay, so this is very easy. We'll try to find out all the possible combinations, like 25 and then 27, 27, both of which are not prime. We can see that 5, 7, 5, 2. Okay, 5, 7 is divisible by 3, 5, 2 is divisible by 2. So then we have 7, 2, then we have 7, 5, and none of these numbers are divisible by are prime. None of these numbers are prime, so therefore the answer will be 0. Now the next question says that there is a team that had a total score of 282. The run rate in the first 10 overs was 3.2 and the run rate in the last 10 overs was 8.2. Okay, and we have to find the run rate for intermediate 30 overs. So they say that there are 50 overs. The run rate for the first 10 is given, last 10 is given, and we have to find the run rate for the intermediate 30 overs, right? Okay, so this is very easy. What we'll do is that we'll find the number of runs in the first 10 overs and in the last 10 overs, because the average or the run rate is given. So the total runs for the first 10 overs will be 3.2 into 10, 32. Then for the last 10 overs will be 8.2 into 10, will be 82, the sum of which will be 114. Now we know that 282 is the total number of runs, so we'll subtract 114 from that, and what we get is 168. Okay, so 168 is the sum of total runs that were scored in the intermediate 30 overs. Okay, so very easy. Now we'll just find the run rate. We'll divide 168 by 30 and the answer will be 5.6. So the fourth question is related to simple interest. There is a principal of 1200. The simple interest is 432. Time is 6 years, and run rate and the rate is what we have to find out. So this formula for simple interest is very easy. We all know that simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time and upon 100, and then we'll just solve it, we'll bring all the variables which are given on the left hand side, and r then comes out to be 6%. Now question number 5 is a little bit tricky one. The question says that we have to find the unit digit of 13 to the power 13. So we don't have to multiply 13 times. What we have to do is find a pattern. We know that 13 to the power 1 is equal to 13, so the last digit is 3. Then 13 to the power 2, when we do, we can see that the last digit is 9. Then 13 to the power 3, last digit is 7. 13 to the power 4, last digit is 1. Then 13 to the power 5, last digit is 3. 13 to the power 6, last digit is 9. And the pattern keeps repeating. So the whole pattern becomes 3971. Then again 3971. Okay, we can see that. So for every 4 digits, the pattern remains the same, right? For every 4 numbers. So, and we can see that whenever the exponent of 13 is a multiple of 4, the last digit will be 1. Okay, so we got to conclude that from here. Now what we have to find is that um, the last digit of 13 to the power 13, right? So 13 to the power 13, here exponent is 13, which is not a multiple of 4. So but it is 12 in 12 plus 1, which can be 4 into 3 plus 1. So multiple of 4 plus 1, so the next number, just the next digit. So multiple of 4 will be 1 and the next one will be 3. So our answer will be 3. I think you got it, and let's move on to the part 2 of this